TheDon next to Don.
Except my STEEZ know what's going on. Yes, Lord.
Goddamn, bring y'all
Saturday night footy.
Saturday, Super Saturday, motherfucker. Yeah.
Super Saturday.
Man, getting into these games. Shit.
Music licensing.
Had a good. Started off with a great one, and then not so much the next two though.
The first one I was definitely expecting to be some type of a great game. These both teams, but in great form right now.
Both undefeated.
Yeah, so that was definitely something to look forward to. Richmond and Brisbane game, that was pretty much what I expected as well.
Yeah.
But the Northern Sydney game, I was definitely expecting a lot more out of that. But getting into motherfucking Suns versus Crows, fucking man.
Just game of the year contender, game of the round,
Right.
probably.
Yeah, I don't think nothing's gonna compete with this for game of the round. Shit, what you think, man?
Music licensing.
I thought going into this game, it was really gonna be. I was really just focused on seeing how Gold Coast will be able to handle the forward line. Adelaide, we all know they have a potent forward line, options everywhere. But also how Adelaide midfield will be able to stand up with the Suns, who have been having the midfield has been performing great this season. So I really was focused on that. It was quite interesting to see how it played out. To be honest.
Yeah, so coming into this game, Crows haven't lost a quarter yet this year.
Music licensing.
And the Suns,
They only lost one, I think, too.
yeah, I want to say it was like 7 out of 8
Mhm.
quarters they won coming into this game. But I think this was definitely a test for the Suns more so than the Crows. The Crows kind of played some decent competition. The Suns haven't played anybody, but they've been looking great. Their midfield's been holding up. Their forward's been great. Mac Andrews been holding it down in the back, even though he's spotty at times. He definitely had a big moment this game.
Spoiled master.
Yeah. But yeah, I was very interested in this game, bro. Suns looking probably the best they've ever had in history. And Crows just their forward's been going crazy this year. I think we was looking up the other night that out of the Coleman leaders, like Crows got like 4 in the top 15 for Coleman. Like that's just insane. And probably would be more if Rochelle didn't get hurt that the other game. So yeah, but other than that, I do think it comes down to like how good they feel in their other positions, kind of like you were saying. Like we know Crows forwards gonna do what they do, so it was like what they midfield and the defenders gonna do. And on the opposing hand, the Suns forwards really look fucking good this game too.
Jed Walters specifically.
Yeah, Jed Walters was giving his best field throw impression on the other side there. That shit was great.
Yeah, I thought Gold Coast. I think Adelaide they didn't really win like out of center too much or anything like that. Most of their attacking came from like when they were already under the pump defensively and were able to just transition the ball forward. So they did a pretty good job at that. I think they outscored Gold Coast just from the defensive half going forward to attacking.
Yeah.
And like you said, like Thilthorpe had a great game. Tex had a great game. Fogarty wasn't as impactful, but he was pretty early on. He was more impactful, I think. But Saligo, I'm very impressed with Saligo though, from an Adelaide midfielder. He, even like if there's a split second decision, he seems to be able to make a kick, like lace out under the pump and still give silver service to the forward. So I know Adelaide forwards are pretty happy with that. But I also think Gold Coast, Collins, like you have a great defender in Collins, and Thilthorpe was just kicking bro ass a little bit. So it was really crazy just to see that Adelaide can do it no matter what. And I think Gold Coast midfield did play good, even though Rao didn't really have the best game either. But like Noah Anderson had a good game, and it was just Bailey Humphrey actually had a good game too for mid forward over there in Gold Coast. So it was just a great game overall, just from beginning to end. It wasn't.
Yeah, it was definitely like a tug of war too. Like it definitely felt. It seemed like Gold Coast definitely had a more firmer grip on the lead. For most of the game, I think they kind of got out early, but every time it would get in that range where you would think most teams would be like, all right, this game's over.
Yeah.
Crows would just have a surge and automatically it'll be just back to a tie game or
Every time, bro.
up a goal. Like that whole second half was just
Yeah.
on the edge of your seat footy type shit.
Gold Coast did have the opportunity to put Adelaide away a couple times, but it just was like that pesky little brother that you just can't keep away from you, bro. That just wants to keep bothering you every day.
Yeah, even goddamn like towards the late game when calls was getting kind of questionable. Like Crows never gave up. I think a lot of lesser teams have been like, kept on complaining and trying to get the umps on their side, but
Rankin did though.
Rankin, he did fuck up, but understandably so, because like 9 times out of 10 that would be a mark paid. And not only that, he was getting hit on the way down with the ball, so it should have definitely been something there.
Gold Coast definitely got the better end of a couple calls. Like when Jay Walter really played on, they didn't call it. He ended up getting the goal right in front of the goal. So yeah, it kind of was unfortunate the way it shook down for Adelaide. I'll be interested in seeing another matchup of both these teams. I don't know if they play twice this season, but unless we have to wait till finals to see a rematch.
Yeah.
But yeah, it really went down to the wire, bro. Thilthorpe wasn't able to take a mark at the very end. Mac Andrew really stood up in the moment, and then they got into it after the game.
Yeah, they were slick already getting into it before that shit, but it was like the last 4 seconds, and it was like, I forgot who did the kick in, but they was down by a point, and Gold Coast did like an incredible job keeping Adelaide away from scoring just a single point for like a whole 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But
that's not easy either.
At all. And it came down to like the last 4 seconds. I think don't know who did the kick, but yeah, I definitely think they probably should have just went for a behind or goal or something at that point, but instead they went to Thilthorpe. Although Thilthorpe's been fucking automatic damn near all year. If he gets a lead, he usually is gonna mark it. So I understand the choice, but boy, Mac Andrews was ready, man. Thilthorpe got in his head. Mac Andrews like, I'm gonna get this shit no matter what. It really felt like that, watching it happen. And Mac Andrews did that shit, so yeah, I'd definitely give real props for that.
Yeah, I also want to give credit to the backmen of the halfbacks for Gold Coast. They were doing pretty good, especially John Noble in the beginning of the game. Kind of phased out a little bit and seemed like he just passed the baton on to Daniel Rioli, who had a great game as well. So Gold Coast just had a complete effort all around. Not to say that Adelaide didn't, but somebody had to win, somebody had to lose, and it was just unfortunate for Adelaide.
Definitely thought it was going to end in a draw, but
I wouldn't have been mad with that.
Yeah, kudos to Gold Coast for holding them boys off, because that shit was quite the exciting end.
For sure.
On to the next game. We have Richmond Tigers versus Brisbane Lions.
Oh, I was dreading this game, man. Oh my God, I didn't enjoy this game at all.
Yeah, so this game kind of. I mean, I think most people were expecting the ass whoop here. Brisbane should be in better form than they are, honestly.
At least they played in the first half. Like they usually haven't been playing well in the first half, but they played decent. More so in the second quarter. I think they really blew Richmond away in the second and third quarters, particularly. But in the first quarter, Richmond still had a chance. But I think realistically, we all really knew that Brisbane was going to come away with it, especially how they finished games. But really, the midfield from Brisbane just was all put together pretty much. I don't think Richmond really had a chance in that area.
Yeah, I honestly don't think this was the most terrible performance by Richmond.
No, it wasn't.
At this point, it was really age, experience, and just being relatively a new group of guys playing together. I think they definitely had their moments of flashes.
They did.
And the score was never like too crazy. It definitely felt like Brisbane had control all the time, though. So it never felt like Richmond had a chance, but the game was within grasp and relatively.
Yeah. They did have bright spots, like you're saying, like Sam Lawler. He had another good game relative to the performance of Richmond as a whole. And Jacob Blight, too. I wasn't really too familiar with his game, but it's crazy how Richmond just seems to throw him wherever they need him, and he still is able to stand up no matter where, if he's playing in the back, playing forward. So Richmond, you can take this game with a grain of salt. Not all the way too upset about the performances, but yeah, Brisbane just a little bit too much, man, as we all would expect.
Yeah, and to speak on how goddamn boring this game was, even for the fucking players, I know fucking the Brisbane dude in the back, I think he was just in the back doing fucking shoulder exercises, like, right in the middle of the fucking game.
Yeah.
Like, as a Richmond player, ain't no way I'm gonna be that defeated where I'm letting the opponent just fucking work out on me. Like, you got me fucked up. But
I think one of the main, probably the most entertaining portion of this game was when Will Ashcroft had that dribbler all the way from the side, from the pocket. That was crazy skillful, bro. So Will Ashcroft, man, I was impressed with that, man. I like to see dribbler goals. I don't know why I have a weakness for dribblers, but I really like to see that one.
Yeah, that's really all I got for this one, man.
Yeah. Brisbane finally they said Brisbane struggled to win at the G like all this time, and since I can't remember how long, but I think we all knew that streak was about to end here.
Yeah. Shit, on to the last game of the night. We had North Melbourne versus Sydney Swans.
Yeah, in my mind, there was, considering how Sydney was playing all year, there was definitely a chance, maybe even a strong chance, for North to not only be competitive but to possibly win this game. But unfortunately for North, Sydney really brought it in all aspects of the game. They really trying to shut the doubters up, and they really played a complete game, bro. I think they did a great job off intercepts.
Yeah.
Defensively, bro, and that's really where they predicated their game on this game.
Hell yeah. So this one, I was really keen to watch this game because really for the kind of the opposite reasons of how it turned out. I thought North was like really coming into a certain type of form. They kind of getting their pieces together and learning how to work together, going against a Sydney that I thought was kind of they were still kind of wobbly this year, so I wasn't too keen or too sure when they was gonna hit that switch and become the competitive Sydney that has been making it to the finals these last few years. So I think North definitely had a chance, but this game, Sydney hit that switch and was firing on all cylinders, if you don't mind, because, yeah.
It's really like they wanted to give a middle finger to Luke Parker. I was like, all right, bro, you want to leave us to go to them? We'll whoop y'all ass real quick.
Something, because Sydney's midfield is probably what stood out the most this game. Like, North really couldn't get shit going. I feel like everything North got was kind of off mistakes or just off of some spillages. It wasn't too many clean passages from North. Like, I've come to kind of, I ain't gonna say I come to expect it, but I look forward to that from North now. At least a possibility. And it wasn't too much of that this game because Sydney was just so disruptive and really just had their paws all over this one, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I thought they played great defense and they forwards. Just the complete game, I think. Forwards, defense, midfield. They look good, man.
Yeah, I mean, Marty Party, man. Marty, I haven't been fucking with a Marty Party lately, man. The boy dropped 4 goals. Will Hayward with 4.
Peter Laddams didn't kick the goal. That goal.
That boy shake the fuck out.
He did not kick that goal.
That was right before the half. That boy.
That was a spud kick right there. That was worse than Harry ever. Nah, that was Harry like. Larky had another 2 to his total though. Pretty tough considering the conditions, but hey man, I know he'll take that.
Yeah.
But look at the intercept mark. Well, the marks from Lloyd and Beisler, the 2 defenders. That's really, I think, what did the job right there. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, seemed like North was just kicking in the fucking right to them boys.
Yeah. Shit was great. I know Lily's happy with this one. Charlie, Charlie, you're talking that shit. Carlton shit? Nah, North shit.
Shit. I mean, that's really all I got for this one. This is pretty much a the score tells it all, man. They kind of clean these boys up pretty handily.
Yeah, I think they could have did us right by having the Gold Coast Adelaide game at the end instead of these two games at the end, man. But I'm just thankful that we did get a great game, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Saturday night footy.
Because I'm not too hopeful about these games tonight, man.
Port and Adelaide, and Saints got to live up to the ticket, man. I'm hoping.
That is possible. I think the Dogs Frio game could possibly be a good one, too.
Dog show up there.
Unfortunately, we got to get through West Coast, man. But hell yeah. Like, comment, subscribe.
All the YouTube shit.
Hell yeah. And we do be live. Shit, tune in.
Yeah.
Yeah.